everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Heather Zolnowski. I'm the Executive Director of the Benjamin Franklin Classical Charter Public School. I have been at BFCCPS since 2007. I started as the Assistant Head of School, and then Head of School, and then last year I became the school's first Executive Director. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to our first information session in our brand new building. We moved into this building in August of 2019. It was a 6-year process to get, although some will say it was a 25-year process, but it was actually a 6-year process to get here and get in this building, and we are so excited to be here and to have our own space. We are one of the first charter schools that started in Massachusetts in 1995. We just completed the application and review process for charter renewal. We're going in front of the BESE in January for approval, and we will be approved for another 5 years. So we are very excited to celebrate our 25th anniversary this year. I just want to tell you a little bit about charter schools. Charter schools are public schools in Massachusetts that are founded typically by parents, teachers, educators who are looking for something different than a traditional public school. We are public, which means that there is no fee to attend. We are open by application. You fill out an application, we run a lottery. If we have more applications than we do spaces available. There are no admission hurdles, there are no exams. We are completely open and very excited to accept new students every year. Our charter school is built on a mission that's built on 4 distinct pillars: parents as primary educator, classical education, community service, and character education. And we believe that those 4 interconnected pillars create an environment of education that is fantastic for students in grades K through 8. We're very excited about the partnership that we build with parents throughout their time here, and we believe that that is the best way to educate students is through that partnership between school and home. We're really excited today to be joined by parents, faculty and staff, current students, and alumni students who will speak to you a little bit today about our distinct mission. Today we have April Greer from the Board of Trustees who will speak to you about parents as primary educator. We have Erin Harler, a 2nd grade teacher here at BFCCPS, and Jessica Kelleher, our STEAM teacher and Capstone advisor. We have David Joyce and Lori Canning. David Joyce is a 5th grade teacher. Lori Canning is a K-2 French teacher and also an original BFCCPS teacher, so she started 25 years ago when the school first opened our doors. So we're super excited to have her here today to speak with you. And then we have Emma Nicholson, who is a 2016 graduate from BFCCPS and in the graduating class this year at Franklin High School, and she'll talk to you about the community service program. So thank you very much for joining us today. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce April Greer.
Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? I'm very uncomfortable standing behind the podium. It makes it feel very official, so I just might do this a little bit. So thank you for the introduction. Yes, my name is April Greer. I am a parent of a 2nd grader here at Benjamin Franklin Classical Charter Public School. I remember sitting where you were 3 years ago, getting the informational session, falling in love with this community, putting our name in for the lottery, and we didn't make it in kindergarten. We got waitlisted, but 2nd grade we got in, and we are so thrilled to be part of this community. So, as Heather said, this community offers a wealth of opportunities and support for parents to fulfill the pillar as parent as a primary educator. As Heather said, I dived headfirst into this community and got elected to the Board of Trustees, which is the governing body here at the school. And it's been a wonderful opportunity to help understand how the school works, set policy. One of the interesting things that, and Heather, keep me honest, is that the Board of Trustees is made up of primarily parents. There are 4 faculty and administration that are on the board, but it's mainly parents, which is, from what Heather said recently, from meeting other charter schools is almost an anomaly. Usually you're trying to get community members, business owners to be a part of the community, but we're made up of parents here, and that's how passionately we feel. But there's tons of other opportunities, whether it's being on a committee, whether it's the mission committee, HR committee, the finance committee, to help and have your voice heard. But there's other great things to do, whether it's doing volunteer work at the school, becoming a mystery reader, everyday things that help to support this mission. One of the other things that I think is amazing about how the community allows parents to really be involved in the education is, I know our experience with our second grade teacher, Miss Quinlan, who is phenomenal, with her weekly take-home sheets, besides we need to practice spelling, we need to practice math, there's usually a list of about 7 activities, and it rotates a little bit, that she asks us to choose. And it could be everything from practice tying your shoes to playing a board game as a family. And like I said, it switches around, but it really allows our family to be committed to finding those teachable moments in everyday life to help support the education that our children are receiving at this school. So I'm here. If anyone has any questions about the board or experience as a parent, like I said, the last thing that I will say is that other thing that I really appreciate is the transparency of the curriculum that we have at the school. I can go online, I can see what Ms. Canning is doing in her French class in January. I can, if I choose, find ways to support that at home. So again, tons of opportunities to help me as a parent find those teachable moments that parallel the curriculum that is happening here at the school. So again, I highly recommend enrolling. Don't be discouraged if you don't get in first. We made a decision as a family that even if we didn't get into this school for second grade, we were going to keep trying because we felt that passionately about the curriculum and the staff here, which has been absolutely wonderful. So, thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Erin Harler, who is a second grade teacher at BFCCPS, and Jessica Kelleher, who is our STEAM teacher and one of our Capstone advisors.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Sorry. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today to learn about our school. As Heather said, my name is Erin Harler, and I am one of the second grade teachers here at BFCCPS. So it's my job today to talk to you about the pillar of character education, and more specifically what it looks like at the kindergarten through 5th grade level. So our character education curriculum centers around our 4 virtues, which are actually painted up on the wall here, and those are the virtues of prudence, temperance, justice, and fortitude. So in my second grade classroom, what this looks like is about once a week, we will dedicate a lesson to defining and explaining and exploring one of these virtues. So it's amazing because we'll have 7- and 8-year-olds saying, oh, that character wasn't very prudent in that story. And we're like, ooh, that was fancy. And they get very excited about using these big words. So we'll explain what a virtue is, we'll give them synonyms and qualities that define this virtue, and then we'll read a story, sometimes watch a video, or even learn about a real-life event that exemplifies this virtue. For example, in my classroom a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the virtue of justice. So the students were able to talk about what's fair in school, what they see as not fair in school, and then we talked about the story of Malala, what happened to her and what she stands for. And we had an amazing discussion. You wouldn't have believed that you were talking to 7- and 8-year-olds with the insights that they were able to provide on that subject. So personally, as a teacher, it's one of my favorite parts of the week because we're able to dedicate some time to teaching the students how to be good people, how to be good citizens when they grow up, and showing them that that is just as important as being a good reader and being good at math and science. So that's something that we find really valuable at our school. School-wide, we show character education through our Reading Buddies program. And so how this works is each classroom, K through 2, will be paired up with a 3rd and 5th grade classroom, and each student will have a buddy in those upper grades. And once a week, the students will get together and read a book out loud to each other, talk about what's going on in their lives. And it's a part of our character education because those older students are able to act as role models for the younger students. And sometimes they'll get together, the classes will come together to do a community service project, like cleaning up our playground or raking leaves in the fall together. Students are also recognized for their good character. And at the K to 5 level, this looks at like receiving what we call a leaf, and we call it a leaf in the forest of virtue. So we make it kind of fun for the students. Each grade will have a couple of assemblies throughout the year that parents are invited to. Every student at some point throughout the year will receive a leaf that coincides with one of the virtues or the sub-virtues that goes along with that. So it's an opportunity for teachers to recognize positive values and actions that they're seeing in each student. And again, it's a great time because we're showing students that it's important to celebrate being a good person and showing good character, just like we celebrate doing well on your math test or reading a really challenging book. So character education is one of our 4 pillars, like we said, and it's part of what makes our school so unique because now more than ever we're realizing how important it is to be educating the whole child, not just making them really great at math and really strong readers, but making them good people that are going to grow up and shape our future. So that's something that makes BFCCPS really special. Thank you very much.
Good morning, my name is Jessica Kelleher. I am the STEAM teacher for grades 5 and 8, and I'm also the library tech teacher for grades 6 through 8. And then I also get to see all of the classes in my space, or I will go to their room for a lesson that mostly is connected with science and math, but with a little bit of engineering or a little bit of creating at the same time. I teach a class in Makerspace for our enrichment class, and it's focused on creating something that then can be given to others. This shows the virtue of justice with kindness and generosity. This class is wonderful to experience. The students wanting to give back to the community. Examples are kindness rocks for the community, and then making cardboard playhouses for the kindergarten and 1st grade rooms during indoor recess. We also send out monthly postcards to select students to recognize ongoing virtues. I've sent postcards for justice, seeing new friendships form in the beginning of the school year, and temperance for keeping materials organized and helping others to do the same, and prudence for communication with other students and teachers. When I meet with my advising group, I truly get to see how character education has been woven into each of my students' overall character. I have an 8th grade group this year, and they are working on their final capstone projects. Each student has a successful project that has positively reflected on the school, the community, and around the world. They are such a tight group who always support each other. The Character in Action Award Assembly was a wonderful time to see all the upper grade students come together. At the assembly, the students were recognized for going above and beyond in one area of the 4 virtues. I was able to give the Justice Award this past term to one student who continues to show fairness, respect, friendship, kindness, compassion for others, and generosity throughout the first term of the school year. It was so great to see each student in the upper grades recognize each other and strive to be even better. Thank you.
Thank you very much, both Erin and Jessica, for getting up and speaking about character education at BFCCPS. It is now my honor to introduce David Joyce, a 5th grade teacher at BFCCPS, and Lori Canning, our K-2 French teacher, to talk to you about classical education.
Hello, everybody. So, my name is David Joyce. I am a 5th grade teacher here at BFCCPS, and this is my first year teaching here at this school. So I wanted to start by telling you some of the things that I have found really unique about this school as it relates to classical education, and this idea of teaching the whole child. And where I think it starts really with this school is the encouragement to look beyond just the simplest ways that we learn. We challenge our students to go beyond just memorizing facts or regurgitating information. And we ask them to create, to design, to debate, and to present to their peers, to demonstrate that deep understanding of the content that we're discussing in class. And that is a huge piece of our rigorous education. Some of our best presentations that we do here at our school include French Week, where students not only research different parts of French culture, but they're asked to create a presentation on a poster board and share that information with their peers, with their parents, and with their teachers. Another form of presentation that we do here at this school is the social studies fair in 5th and 6th grade. Our 5th graders this year, they did research on explorers, but they didn't just look up facts. They were asked to analyze how did these explorers change and impact our society today. So we're not just taking this information and saying, oh, it's facts, it's facts, it's facts. It's using that information in ways that they are going to be asked to use it in the real world. Now, we haven't gotten yet to our science fair presentations, but that's going to be our next step in April. And students aren't just going to be asked to perform an experiment. They need to research it. They need to come up with a question that is going to help this school or help what they think is going to help society. They are going to create an experiment. They are going to implement that experiment. And then they are going to take that data and draw a conclusion in ways that can help either our schools or society in general. And it relates to that whole child education, that we really strive to teach our students that you are in here in school to learn. And we are not just asking you to memorize and regurgitate facts. Now, I also want to mention how we meet the needs of every student that walks through our doors. Students who may be at a lower readiness level receive support from interventionalists and specialists. And we target specific skills using data that we receive as teachers from tests, from homeworks, from exit tickets. We use that information to target specific skills in students so that they can build their confidence in class and that they feel more prepared and proud to share what they have learned with their peers and with their teachers. Now, this doesn't only work for students who are of lower readiness either. Our students at higher readiness levels are provided opportunities to dive deeper into the curriculum. And beyond just shoving more curriculum at these students, say a 5th grade student getting 6th grade curriculum or 7th grade curriculum. No! Instead, we have them dive deeper into the 5th grade curriculum and use that information and share it with their classmates and their peers. So we really do strive to meet the needs of every single student that walks through those doors. I hope I've been able to express to you how unique and special our school is and how we prepare our students with the skills and the resources that they need not only to be successful in school, but to be successful in life. Thank you.
Bonjour, everybody. Nice to see you all here today. Je m'appelle Madame Canning, as you probably expected or suspected from my introduction. I am currently the K-3 French teacher, and it has been my honor and my privilege to be a teacher here since the very beginning. I have taught either 3rd or 4th grade for the first 10 years the school was open, and I've since been the K-3 or K-5 French specialist since 1995. And I will say that today is a very special day in my family. My grandmother turns 107 today. So you're stuck with me for a long time. So I'm thinking about her today, and she's actually so sharp and so lucid and so good that she even knows that I'm here today presenting, and I'll be calling her afterwards. So pretty cool. This morning I'm going to tell you more about the co-curricular aspects of the program that we offer. So French, Latin, music, art, library, PE, and an enrichment block. As I thought about what I wanted to say to you today, I was reflecting on why I love my job here so much, and you're probably wondering, why has she stayed so long? Well, let me tell you. One example happened a few days ago. I walked into one of the kindergarten classes, and there was a little girl named Arden waiting in the doorway for me. She had a big smile on her face. I thought, looking at her, and I realized she's wearing a French t-shirt that says, yeah, this is very cute, "You had me at bonjour." She couldn't wait to surprise me. And she said, I couldn't wait to see you today, but I'm planning. I told my mom that you would jump up and down and be so excited by this shirt. And of course I was. She looked so darn cute. She said, so my mom said that we could buy you one too. So for real, we're twins. I have one too. Oh, by the way, it's not this one. This was $5 on eBay. You can join my French shirt club when you become a student here or a parent. All are welcome. All are welcome. My second quick example is yesterday afternoon. I was walking by Mrs. Junas's kindergarten class on my way to teach first grade. And I heard a chorus of bonjours, which, by the way, will never get old for me. And I told Mrs. Olnowski, kiddingly, and one aloha. So we still have a little bit of work to do. And this little darling boy named Kabir says to me, Madame Kenning, it's only 3 more sleeps until we have French on Monday. And I thought that was really refreshing and very sweet that I still am surrounded by children who quantify major happenings in their life by nights of sleep. So where else in the world can you go to find that type of adoration? Here at BFCCPS in the kindergarten. So back to the topic at hand. I wanted to talk to you today a little more about our strong programming in the foreign languages and fine and performing arts. Our rich investment in technology is shown by our library technology, our makerspace, and the infusion of technology in the cross-curricular aspects of the program. We have class sets of iPads and Chromebooks, and because of that commitment from the board and the administration, technology can be woven through the various subjects, such as French. I love to use technology during Le Français. There are fabulous websites like Quizlet or Kahoot that the students can use to reinforce and practice French vocabulary. When I taught 5th grade last year, if students had a quiz on food or school subjects or animal vocabulary, they were able to use the games, the flashcards, the oral assessments to practice. Technology also helps me to provide them with an authentic look at cultural topics with my Google slideshows on French castles, French food, the French president, the fleur-de-lis. I showed the 3rd graders the slideshow I made on the fleur-de-lis just before December break. After vacation, literally half of the class couldn't wait to tell me they saw something with the fleur-de-lis on it. Even their 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Palmer, chimed in. I heard fleur-de-lis spotted on everything, including the New Orleans Saints uniforms, jewelry, furniture, clothing, etc. So there are also a great amount of YouTube videos with French songs, which the kids really enjoy listening to. I feel it's a wonderful tool to help support all aspects of the curriculum. Specifically regarding language instruction, we teach French and Latin at BFCCPS. So I'll start first with Latin, since I just told you a little bit about French anyways. Latin is once a week in 4th grade. They begin then and have it once in 5th grade as well per week. It increases to 2 times a week from 6th through 8th grade. Our English words have roots in Latin, so it's really helpful in expanding their vocabulary. My desk is now in the Latin classroom, so I'm able to see firsthand the really interesting lessons that Madame Vasadi Kovacs does with her students. I've heard 8th graders presenting 3D representations of the Romulus and Remus story. I've listened to 7th graders share very creative, fake Instagram posts about the fall of Troy. And the coolest thing that she's doing right now is her current enrichment block. The middle school students are cleaning 1,500-year-old Roman coins with special oils, and they're researching and documenting the process on a Google Doc. So really hands-on and fun. I'd love to jump in. I wish they could spare me one. Students begin Francais in kindergarten, and up through 4th grade, it is a once-a-week enrichment special, just like art or gym or music. It increases to twice a week in 5th grade, where we add in tests, quizzes, and homework. It's 3 times a week in 6th, and by 7th and 8th grade, French is now 4 times a week, so just like math or science or reading. Our language instruction is annually validated by the high scores students receive on the French and Latin national exams, and the honors courses students go on to take in high school. I've been told by an alumni that the French National Honor Society at Franklin High School is kind of like a charter school reunion. Yes. So yes, I thought that was really cool. Some other highlights to the year are the 7th grade trip to Quebec. Students get to meet their pen pals. They practice French with native speakers, explore Quebec City, eat lots of crepes, and experience the Quebecois culture. I lived there and studied at Laval University one summer, and I literally cannot wait to go back soon and experience it again with our 7th graders. Please do come as a chaperone if your student gets in and you are here in 7th grade. That would be amazing. Another special event at our school is French Week. Mr. Joyce referenced some of the events already. We also have a French market. That week we have assemblies with French singers and kid performers. We have an 8th graders versus the teachers soccer game, quite passionate and intense. We have Eiffel Tower building relays, and last year we had 2 rhythmic drummers from Mali come. They brought 30 drums for the kids to learn on during an assembly. And it was really awesome. I have a student named Rohan in 1st grade who has asked me like 5 times, when are your friends coming back with those drums? So clearly it was a big hit. As you may know, we also have a well-decorated music and instrumental program with a talented chorus, a wind ensemble, a concert band, a symphonic band, and music classes once a week. The Fine and Performing Arts department puts on a spring musical every year. And this year they are well underway with Princess What's Her Name. You are welcome to come see that and enjoy it with our community. Ms. Brzezinski, our elementary school music teacher, has created a hands-on interactive program with many cross-curricular connections. She told me her favorite lesson to do is with the 4th grade. They take a paintbrush and spatter watercolors on paper, and then they work to identify musical notes that they have created, which I thought sounded really interesting and fun. The middle school enrichment block has many offerings as well to support students furthering their interest in music. Rhythm and exercise is one right now, hula hooping, Irish step dancing, and more. Art is also always popular at BFCCPS due to our teacher, Miss Sunday's creativity and fun ideas. The Lascaux cave lesson is a favorite of mine to help with, since I've been to this unique area in France. The young students get to explore the caves of Lascaux in a hands-on simulation where she transforms the art room into caves, and they must navigate through them with flashlights. They then use oil pastels to create their own cave art. Pretty cool. Miss Sunday also runs an art club twice a week to enable students to continue to explore art after school. We also have a library tech special. This is taught by Mrs. Barch, who shared 2 of her favorite activities to do with the students. She began a station this year called Unwrapping a Book. So students wrap a book they have read, write a description on the wrapping paper, and they get others excited about reading it. So students are now unwrapping and choosing books they would never have picked before and enjoying them immensely. Her next favorite is called Quiver, which is a special program where kids color a scene from a book and bring drawings to life on an iPad. You can see examples of this on her website. Very creative and engaging for the students. A few other highlights to our year are the fantastic field day run by the coaches. Most schools have a field day, but because we are a K-8 school, our field day is pretty special. Our program requires the presence of the middle school students and their leadership and positive energy to ensure its success. So every year I run a station, and I'm really, really impressed by the patience, the leadership, and the organization that the middle school students show. They're welcoming and kind to the younger students, and interactive and fun. But most importantly, what I see is them working to establish a connection with the younger students and become their role models. The final program I wanted to talk to you about today is the enrichment block on Monday mornings. This is for middle school students, and they can choose a topic to delve into to explore an interest even further. Just like the Roman coin one, we've also had offerings called Block City. Students utilized math, technology, art, and engineering to map and blueprint their own city. They constructed 3D models of their city through creative problem solving with art materials and recycling. Another interesting one was called Behind the Scenes. Students worked as a team to develop props, ads, and costumes for our school's theatrical presentation. A great opportunity to brainstorm, problem solve, and be creative. And they gained an understanding and an appreciation, that's for sure, of the time and commitment it takes to run a production of that size. In the past, offerings have also included yoga, book club, coding games, graphic design, topics about historical things like World War II, and more. So before I finish, I just wanted to show you a couple of quick things about K-2 French, or K-3 French this year for me. We would start class with a circle on the floor with the kids. I would have them pass the stuffed Eiffel Tower around and possibly say, bonjour, je m'appelle Antoine, or their age, j'ai 5 ans or j'ai 6 ans. I love to get everybody talking, so this is a great tool that when it's your turn, you're holding the stuffed Eiffel Tower and speaking and using sentence starters or whatever we are working on that particular day. Something else hands-on and using a partner that they might do is to play a matching game. So even with kindergarten, the kids as young as 5 get with a friend, and they're playing a matching game with something like colors or numbers. They match red to rouge, to 1. So for numbers, we would do 1 through 10 to start with the kindergarten colors, animal words, family. So a great way to do something fun with a friend that's hands-on during French class. I may also do something while they're in the circle where they've got a visual. We repeat the names of the words in Francais, règle, etc., ciseaux. They might take them and pass them around. Everybody says ciseaux, and they're looking at the object and passing it around. As they get older, they would have a vocabulary folder with these words on it. Colors, numbers, animals, family, all the beginning words you'd expect to see. We also play different games where they might guess clothing and color of a person in the circle. So I might describe somebody saying, pullover rose, pantalon noir, chaussure noir, and they have to figure out who am I talking about. So they're looking at everybody, they're doing some problem solving and utilizing the vocabulary that we study in French. So that's just a few little examples. So in conclusion, our cross-curricular program supports the rigorous academic standards that we have, and our students graduate exemplifying the virtues: kindness, perseverance, courage, optimism, prudence, and fortitude. We hope to make them into the exceptional young men and women that we send out into the world, as you will see by the next wonderful student alumni that is going to talk to you. Merci beaucoup.
Good morning, my name is Emma Nicholson, and I graduated from BFCCPS in 2016, and I'm currently a senior at Franklin High School. There's so much I could say about my time at BFCCPS, everything from the enriching foreign language education, the arts education that I received, but I think one of the main things that really distinguishes this school from anywhere else would be the dedication to community service. So today I want to talk a little bit about a couple of community service projects that have stuck with me, as well as my Capstone project that I completed in 8th grade. In first grade, we began our community service work with Meals on Wheels, which is an organization that delivers meals to seniors locally and nationally. I realized over time the way that this project truly impacted me, because what we did for this organization was we created greeting cards. So we would send them around the holidays, around really any time, just to brighten the days of the seniors. And I began to realize that these cards meant a lot more than just a piece of paper with some drawings. They were really impacting someone's day. And this was when I really got a first glance into what it means to be a member of the community and to have that aspect of outreach. In elementary school in 2nd and 3rd grade, I have fond memories of visiting the Franklin Senior Center and making crafts with the seniors. At such such a young age, being able to interact with these individuals who are a lot older and wiser than ourselves, and being able to see them consistently. We would visit a couple times a year during the year, I think every once a month. And this was definitely something that has stuck with me because I realized that you kind of get to see firsthand the impact that you're having on others, and that's something really powerful. Our work with the Franklin Food Pantry was definitely one of the biggest things that I think really exemplifies BFCCPS community service. In 6th grade, my class took a field trip to the Franklin Food Pantry after we had just hosted a canned food drive for the pantry. And I had never been to the food pantry before. So I remember walking in and being a little confused about what was happening, but I suddenly realized the impact that this organization has on our community locally, but also the impact that I had had by collecting the canned food and donating it to the pantry. And seeing where the food goes and getting a tour of the space was really an incredible experience. And it definitely opened my eyes to a world beyond just my perspective. I actually continue my work with the Franklin Food Pantry throughout high school, and this past month I was the lead food elf for their Food Elves campaign. So it really goes to show the impact that the service you do at BFCCPS has on you throughout your whole life. When it came time to start my Capstone project in 8th grade and 7th grade, I was really enthusiastic to get started, and I think this is definitely a testament to the encouragement and the normalization of community service throughout my whole BFCCPS experience. I decided to focus my community service project for Capstone on the impact of the arts on children undergoing long-term hospital stays. And this is really the beauty of Capstone. You can kind of choose an organization that is meaningful to you and that you can really reflect on in your own life. And you can dedicate your time and resources to that organization, which is something really special. And for me to be able to put my time and resources into 2 organizations that really meant a lot to me was really powerful. I focused my work on the Creative Arts Program at Boston Children's Hospital, in addition to the Cards for Hospitalized Kids organization. For my project, I ran a week-long summer camp in the afternoon between my 7th and 8th grade year during the summer. I had about 12 students attend the camp, and this was really cool because I was kind of getting to be a leader, and definitely leadership skills were something that I learned hugely from this project. For the camp, it was focused on the arts, so we did games, crafts, music, activities, all centered around the arts. And I made time during the camp to talk to the students about my project and about the way that the tuition that they were paying me for the camp was going towards the Creative Arts Program at Boston Children's, who then reciprocated those funds into arts resources for children undergoing hospital stays. The second piece of my project was a card-making event that I hosted for 8th grade students in the fall of my 8th grade year. We created cards, greeting cards and holiday cards for Cards for Hospitalized Kids, which is an organization based in Chicago, but they distribute cards to children in hospitals throughout the entire country and even throughout the world, I think. So it really shows the more national and global outreach that we can have as BFCCPS students through our normal service projects in addition to the Capstone projects. Both my Capstone project and these other projects have helped me to realize that when one dedicates their time and resources to a cause important to their own values, a broader perspective is gained on the world beyond just the school. Personally, I gained a heightened sense of gratitude for my own experiences, but I also gained communication, leadership, and public speaking skills throughout the whole experience. And this culminated in 8th grade when we gave our capstone presentations at this very podium, in which we shared our projects throughout the whole school. So the gestures of providing individuals and families with meals, clothing, Christmas cards, or even just greeting cards can mean more to some than we may ever know as students. And as I grew up and realized these things, having a school that supported the community service aspect of my education was incredible. As I look towards finishing high school and going on to college, my gratitude for community service at BFCCPS has only grown. Over the past few months, I have been helping out Madame Canning with her after-school arts and crafts club on Friday afternoons. And hearing these current BFCCPS students speak about their community service experiences and initiatives, and hearing their excitement about them is truly amazing, and it really makes me be even more thankful for the experiences that I have. I am tremendously grateful and thankful to have gone to a school that stresses the importance of community outreach and community service throughout our whole education, and I can sincerely say I would not be where I am today without it. Thank you.
You are wondering what the impact of a BFCCPS education is, it is in Emma. I first met Emma when she came into school the first day of kindergarten, so to see her here today speak to you with such grace and poise is amazing. But it truly is an embodiment of our entire mission. She mentioned a little bit, or a lot actually, about her Capstone Projects. So I just wanted to explain to you a little bit about what our Capstone Projects are. Our Capstone Projects are really the culmination of our students' experience here at BFCCPS. They are projects that are necessary for parents to partner with and help with. They take everything that the child has learned in their classical education, their character education, and it is a community service project. So it really is the embodiment of our mission. Students start in 7th grade, and they do a lot of research around a cause that they want to impact. And they design a project with goals for themselves as well as goals for their project. They present that project to a team of administrators and advisors for approval, and then they move forward and they implement those projects over the course of the rest of their 7th grade year and the first part of their 8th grade year. And that's culminated with a presentation in front of about 250 to 300 people explaining what the project was, what the impact was that the project had on their community, the impact that it had on themselves as learners, and the obstacles that they faced and how they overcame them. And our capstone presentations are actually coming up January 22nd, 23rd, and 24th for our current 8th grade students, and it really is an amazing opportunity to get a sense of what our students are doing. Emma explained a little bit about her capstone project. The dog park that was built in Franklin was done as a student's capstone project here about 6 years ago. We've had students whose relatives have been sick, so they have done a lot of research around ways to support whatever illness they have. We had one student a couple of years ago whose aunt had gone through breast cancer treatment, had a mastectomy, and she learned that heart-shaped pillows helped during recovery after mastectomies and open heart surgery. So she taught her 8th grade class how to sew. They got together and they sewed 35 heart-shaped pillows, and then they mailed them off to Johns Hopkins Hospital, which is where her aunt had been treated, with little messages and inspirational notes for healing, and Johns Hopkins gave them out to patients after they had had these surgeries. So these are students who have something that has impacted their lives that they feel really passionate about. They learn more about how they can help support it, and then they go out and they actually do that supporting. So to hear from these 13 and 14-year-olds on the strides that they made is one of the most amazing opportunities and definitely a highlight of our year.